Do I think Kyle actually wants to get divorced from Mauricio? I don't. I don't. I think everything she was doing was for attention and to try to shake it up, to make him pay attention to her, to make him prioritize her. I think that he was willfully ignorant to the fact that she needed more from him in the marriage, because I think he chose to prioritize work over her. And I think he's willfully ignorant and willfully in denial about his confusion as to what went wrong, because he doesn't want to prioritize her. He wants things to be status quo. That's what I think is happening. Now, do I think Kyle and Morgan are real? Hell no. I've been saying that from day one. I don't think they're real. This whole, oh, it's official, loved up. This country singer, this is from Dumas. This country singer is set to premiere their relationship in a very public way. The loved up pair shot a highly coveted magazine cover, which will drop shortly and be a shock to many. First of all, how would it be a shock to anybody when this whole Kyle and Morgan are in a lesbian relationship? We've been talking about this for damn near 2 years. They were public February of 2022. We're in February of 2024. So how would this be a shock to anybody when we've been talking about Kyle and Morgan for 2 years? So knock it off, Dumas. Secondly, I don't think that this is real. I think this has always been a PR stunt. Always. And I'm going to again tell you why I think that. But before I do that, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. Now, as we move on to our next story, look what I found out. I don't know how I missed this, but did you guys know that Morgan Wade's ex-boyfriend, because I'm guessing she's bi? And again, when I talk about sexuality, I'm not saying like it in a mean way. I'm just saying I just thought she was a lesbian. Doesn't matter, obviously. Love is love. I don't care if you like boys, girls, trans, yellow, purple, smurple. I don't care. So when we talk about that, it's from a place of love and inclusivity. But I always thought that Morgan was lesbian. But it turns out her ex-boyfriend is an agent at the agency. As we all know, Mauricio owns the agency. I don't know how I missed this, but this to me is just chef's kiss, where this is a whole PR relationship. Because number one, Morgan and this guy, Joe Link, they were together in a group called the Step Brothers or something like that, or the Stepfathers, something like that. They were in a group together and they started dating off and on together, whatever the case is, boyfriend, girlfriend, right? All of a sudden, Morgan, when she wants to go solo, she hooks up with Kyle Richards. And then a year later, he joins Mauricio's, the agency based in DC. Am I the only one who finds that to be very suspicious? So this article, Morgan Wade's relationship behind the scenes of her personal life, was last updated June 18th of 2023. It says, about her romantic partner, Joe Link is reportedly Morgan Wade's boyfriend. He's a professional musician, in case you were wondering, and he excels at playing the keyboard and guitar. He joined the agency back in, let me see. May 10th of 2023. So within a couple of months, he's at the agency and they are together. So you want to tell me it's a coincidence that when Morgan, and let me put it this way, because I'm baffled by this, baffled. So let me gather myself. Because this is what I always said happened, and this kind of confirms it. I always said Kyle was going through it, the unfortunate death of her friend, her own midlife crisis, not feeling prioritized at home. She's going through it. She hears Morgan's music. She's enamored with her. I think all of that is true. I think she did reach out via DM. Just like Morgan said, she stalked me. I do think all of that happened. And I think that Morgan's team was like, yo, Kyle Richards, Paris Hilton's aunt, Kathy Hilton's sister, Bravo darling, NBC darling, this could be a great come up. That is where I think their entire, quote, friendship formed. Kyle needed attention. Kyle needed an escape. She was trying to get anybody's attention she could. Morgan and her team saw a come up. And think about it. Over the last 2 years, Morgan Wade has blown up thanks to her proximity to Kyle Richards. We now know who she is. She's doing tours with Alanis Morissette. You know, she's selling out concerts and merch and blowing up on Twitter and Instagram. I don't think Morgan Wade would be, quote, Morgan Wade if she had not done this deal with Kyle. She completely blew up. So you're going to tell me that all of a sudden, during that time, she's dating this guy, Joseph Link, who is a part of her band, the Stepbrothers or whatever, the Stepfathers, whatever it's called. That band breaks up. And then Morgan then goes on to become this big solo artist. And then he just so happens a couple of months later, May, June, July of 2023, he just so happens to decide he now wants to be a real estate agent for the agency. Come on. Because also think about it. If Morgan's team managed her when she's like in this band, then they obviously manage and know Joe as well. And how weird, I mean, that's the thing. Like, is it a coincidence? We don't believe in coincidence. We believe in conspiracy. I don't think it's a coincidence that Morgan is all of a sudden Kyle Richards' little patsy girl, and her ex-boyfriend is now one of Mauricio's agents. Where they do that at? But then they want to tell us this whole situation wasn't fake and wasn't a setup. On what planet? And this is the thing, the agency isn't all that. There are so many other real estate agencies out there in the world to be a part of, but he just so happens to want to quit the band and become a real estate agent for the agency. That's him, Joe Link. And I will cite my sources. This was cited in Reality T. Exclusive, Morgan Wade's ex, Joseph Joe Link, works for Mauricio Umansky's The Agencies. It says, I'm not one for conspiracy theories. Well, I am. But the fact that Morgan Wade's ex-boyfriend, Joseph Joe Link, works for the agency has me stunned. You know, the company that Mauricio Umansky is the founder and CEO of. In other words, baby gorgeous herself, I'm shaking, I'm physically shaking. There have been claims of Mauricio and his estranged wife, Kyle Richards, hyping up their marital problems to drum up promotion for their shows. Others think that they want headlines deflecting away from the lawsuits Mauricio is embroiled in. And of course, there was always those rumors of Mo cheating on his beloved Love Bean. Could it be they brought on Joseph on board to conspire with Morgan and help change the narrative? Isn't that crazy? Then it goes on to say, are Morgan and Joe still secretly together? After delving into online commentary, it's clear that a chunk of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills fans think Morgan and Joseph are still secretly dating. They believe their relationship is being hidden so that the rumored romance between Kyle and Morgan can continue to dominate the headlines. Despite being private about their love life in the past, Morgan had spoken publicly about her romance with Joe. That is my wonderful man, she says in the video above. when the two were a part of the same band, the Step Brothers. He broke up with me, so I wrote a song to get him back. It worked. It's been a few years now. I formed a band to get him back. That sounds like true love to me. Then it goes on to say, of course, I could be barking up the wrong tree entirely, but Morgan working her magic for an ex-flame to work under the man currently separated from her new bestie somehow seems more than outlandish than this conspiracy itself. Right? Come on. Come on. You cannot piss on my leg and tell me it's raining right now. You really can't. Because like I said, in this article, Morgan and Wade's relationship, this was updated June 2023. This is over a year after Kyle and Morgan become, quote, just friends, their whole friendship. And then in that same span, he joined the agency in May of 2023. So if these articles are correct, then Kyle and Morgan got together in February of 2022, I believe. He joins the agency in May of 2023. The article says they're still together in June of 2023. And even though now it's saying X, I couldn't find anything about them breaking up. And he wiped his entire social media. This is his Joseph. This is all his social media now. It's only 4 posts. That's it, other than the agency stuff. So something is suspect here. Maybe they're secretly still together. Maybe they're not. But I'm not buying for 1 minute that Kyle and Morgan are organically in this relationship. And even if they were, why have they been lying to us for the last 2 years saying they're just friends? Just like Mauricio said, Kyle said, you can date and I can date. They've been separated. So if you've been separated, why lie about being just friends? See? And then we also have this chick, Katie Cannon. I want to know what her deal was. She was on some other reality show. She said she was dating Morgan in a private relationship with Morgan from November of 2021 to August of 2022. Now, I don't know what's going on with this chick, but she says she was with Morgan from November of 2021 to August of 2022. Who knows? I don't know if there's overlap between Joe and Katie. I don't know. Maybe it was on again, off again. But to me, the math ain't mathing, and they playing exactly LRG curves, and they're playing in our faces. Thank you so much, Miss Jules FL. Sorry if I didn't pronounce your name right. Miss Jules Safa. I hope I said it right. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. She says, I love your take on things. Good work, girl. Thank you. I really appreciate that, because I was working on, today, and I go, how did I miss the fact that her ex-boyfriend is now an agent at the agency? Oh, she goes, Florida, LOL. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Jules, Florida. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I appreciate your super sticker. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't believe in coincidence for a second. Of all of the businesses, of all of the agencies, he chooses to go into real estate for the agency. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. We're not stupid. We're not stupid. And now with the whole again, thank you so much, Miss Jules, Florida. I really appreciate you. And now with this whole, they're going to come out, it's official. I told you guys what I think is going on with this. I think that Kyle and Morgan tried to end their PR relationship contract. But because we have candy canes on the mission, they started to get backlash. And I think the fact that Morgan has new music coming out, and the fact that she's going to be on tour, I think with Alanis Morissette, and all of that, and it's all sold out and people are loving Morgan and she had this big uptick. I think that her camp was fearful that any backlash with her, quote, breaking up with Kyle or fighting with Kyle would affect her music career. And so they quickly then were like, no, let's go back to them being together because we don't want backlash right before Morgan is about to blow up even more. That's what I think happened. And so now we're getting these Dumas placements, which to me, I don't believe everything Dumas says. I think some of it is from people truly writing in. I also think some of them are industry plants. Whether Dumas is in on it or not, I don't know. But again, a lot of times you just have to always think about, who does this narrative serve? You know, everything's anonymous. Everything is just like, oh, this person, she could make it up herself and put it up there. We don't know. I'm not saying this is what she does, or he, or they, whatever. I'm just saying that just because someone puts a blind item out there doesn't mean that blind item didn't come from those people's camps. The same way everyone's like, who leaked it to People magazine? Kyle and Mauricio leaked it to People magazine, duh. You know what I'm saying? So whatever the source is, just like I said before, just always think, whose narrative does this serve? Does it make sense? And why is this being, quote, leaked now? You know? Ugh, you guys, I want to know what you guys think. I mean, this put the nail in a coffin with me, playing in our faces like Kyle. And I always said this, I don't see any sexual chemistry between Kyle and Morgan. The whole thing where Morgan is, touching Kyle's side of her butt at Watch What Happens Live. And Kyle kind of looks like, she kind of looks like, what's going on here? Morgan, stop cosplaying. You might be a singer, but you're not an actor. Okay, sweetheart? I don't buy it for a second. All of a sudden now Morgan is into PDA. When did that happen? I thought they were just friends. And I couldn't believe this chick from Beverly Hills was talking to me. What happened to that, Morgan? All of a sudden you're into touching her butt on the red carpet? Get the hell out of here. Tell me your relationship is fake without telling me your relationship is fake. Get out of here. Anytime somebody's behavior changes in such an obvious way, something's up. Something's up. All of a sudden, Morgan's into PDA. Typically, Morgan is just like, Kyle stalked me, and she's looking like she's like swallowing bile because she looks like she wants to vomit. I have never seen what I personally perceive to be sexual chemistry or affection between them. I've seen moments of friendship. I have. But I've also seen moments of disdain. That's just how I read it. That's like not on Kyle's part, but on Morgan's part. Like to me, Morgan looks like, when is his contract is up, smile and bear it, and she's kind of freaked out by Kyle. And to me, Kyle is kind of just like oblivious to the whole situation, like doesn't get it. That's what I see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm looking through the wrong glasses, but I don't see this love story between the two of them. I don't see this chemistry between the two. I see more chemistry between Dorit and Mauricio. Just put that out there for what it's worth. Okay. Well, that's all I got, guys. That's all I got. So as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, I'll drop the link in case anybody wants to come up for a little bit, and we can go through some of your Candy Canes questions and comments before we head on out, because I am running behind, you guys. So today I had to go to the grocery store, and I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I go to the grocery store, it is literally like the entire day. I can't just pop in and pop out. When I go to the grocery store, I'm there for the entire day.